Happy December 17th, and welcome to MicroStrategy Today, the only daily show that's bringing you MicroStrategy insights, updates, and intel literally 7 days a week. Today's show is a doozy. We're going to talk to you what it would take for MicroStrategy to go bankrupt. It's a pretty crazy scenario. We're going to talk about some more MicroStrategy copycats and what that means. We're going to talk about some MicroStrategy bears and what they're thinking right now. I have one of the best Michael Saylor clips. This just happened. He puts the smackdown on a reporter. You are not going to want to miss that. Some great video clips, some great tweets, some great news articles coming right at you. But first, this is not financial advice. Consult a financial advisor before making any financial decisions, and let's dive in. The MicroStrategy tracker, my friends, it happened. We added more Bitcoin yesterday. Glorious, glorious day, of course. Now MicroStrategy is up to 439,000 Bitcoin. They added 15,500 Bitcoin yesterday. The stock price did initially spike as Bitcoin spiked, and then it dropped as Bitcoin dropped. And of course, some potential rumors of Michael Saylor hitting the ATM, which is allowing him to buy more Bitcoin for you and for me. We'll be talking about that more later. We're also looking at the S&P 500 cracked into the top 100 officially at number 99. The Bitcoin price, as we're talking here right now, is at 107.49. We have, let's see here, still one of 16 corporate holdings ranking, and that's not going to change. The average Bitcoin for Saylor is 61,725, so he is in massive profits. Look at this Bitcoin value per basic share. It spiked up to 192. People that watch this show every day, you know that number is going up, 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 sometimes a little bit, sometimes a lot. Man, it is just amazing as a shareholder to see that. I always just multiply this number, by the way, 192, by my exact share count. And then that gives me the exact number that I have as far as my ownership of the Bitcoin in MicroStrategy. Of course, I don't actually own the Bitcoin in MicroStrategy, but that's what my share is based off the Bitcoin yield. And that's a great base number because, again, then we go with this NAV, which is 2.1. And you know it. I know it. This NAV is going higher. It's going to go much higher, and then it's going to come back, and then it's going to go much higher, and then it's going to go back. And that's okay because Bitcoin is always going to be going up over time, not always up and to the right. There will be healthy retracements, as we always talk about. So right now, the unrealized profit and loss is almost at 20 billion for a return percentage of 73.4%. So MicroStrategy keeps stacking the cool. Let's look at the Catylst tracker. Just one day till the December Fed meeting. Then we can put that in the rearview mirror. We can get the number that we know we're expecting. And then we can just move on, and then capital can just flow in to MicroStrategy without any worries, without any risk, and life is good. We're then going to have the inclusion/reconstitution in just 3 days. That's going to be happening all week, by the way. What's happening right now is the index funds are accumulating the shares that they need, the MicroStrategy that they need to officially have the percentage that MicroStrategy commands of the NASDAQ 100, which is, around number 47 out of 100. That's going to fluctuate, of course, as well. Hopefully to the upside as MicroStrategy fluctuates to the upside, climbing into the 30s, 20s, and eventually joining the Magnificent Seven in the top 10 of the NASDAQ 100 is my thought, is my prediction, probably in 2025. Then some really good catalysts coming up later on. We'll get into that as the new year happens. Some really interesting news articles. I wanted to highlight a few here. MicroStrategy, Semler, Riot. They continue their buying spree as Bitcoin sets new peak. My friends, this is just the beginning. I'm going to have to stop reporting on MicroStrategy copycats at some point soon because there's just going to be too many because everybody's going to be doing it. I mean, who wouldn't? Why wouldn't you? I don't know. But that's because I know Bitcoin. That's because I get Bitcoin. And if you're watching this channel, I'm sure you do as well. And we're way ahead of the curve. We are way ahead of the curve. It's going to take these companies a long time, but there's still going to be some that get it, and more are going to flood in. I mean, here's some key takeaways from this article. MicroStrategy increases Bitcoin holdings again, purchasing 15,350 Bitcoin for approximately $1.5 billion. Semler Scientific and Riot also been actively acquiring Bitcoin. I guess that's why for 7 weeks now, real stat, 7 weeks, Bitcoin has been trending up. Of course, it's having natural pullbacks as it goes, but it's been trending up for 7 weeks. The king of cryptocurrencies has reached a new all-time high, surpassing 107,000, which is where we're sitting right now. I wanted to jump over to this article right here because remember I talked about some potential bankruptcy because this is when the bears come out, the MicroStrategy bears, these really, really sad individuals. And they say, hey, but MicroStrategy might go bankrupt. Well, this is just talking about how strong its Bitcoin position is and how it shields against bankruptcy. And this is just an article talking about the 46 billion against just $7 billion in debt. I think somebody on a recent podcast that I was listening to equated it to, imagine owning a home worth $1 million and your mortgage on that is $180,000. Would anybody be nervous about that? Of course not. In fact, it's usually somewhere the opposite of that. So it's really crazy that people are just freaking out about this because they just don't get it. They're not doing the research. And this next article I wanted to share is pretty funny because a crypto quant CEO said, MicroStrategy will go bankrupt only if an asteroid hits Earth. And then he kind of goes just to say, why that is just such a fact. I mean, it would take Bitcoin going down to 16,000.5, so 16,500 for this to even be a discussion. Not only just go down there, they would have to stay there for at least 2 years. And some people are saying even longer than 2 years. And if that happens, my friends, there's something that's a lot bigger of a problem in the world, as you and I will both know about that. And he goes in showing, where the whales are and why this is just so unbelievably unlikely, especially with everything that's happening going forward. Of course, there's going to be pullbacks. Of course, there's going to be retracements. There's probably a couple bear markets ahead of us. I mean, let's be honest. It's probably going to happen. It's called life. But nothing that's going to put MicroStrategy at risk, in my belief, in this guy's belief, and a lot of other people's belief, who, by the way, have actually done the work. Now, I'm going to put all these articles, by the way, in the show notes page, so you can just go in, you can read them in depth, and you can see exactly what they're talking about. This article, MicroStrategy's Bitcoin bet pays off, surpassed 20 billion in Bitcoin profits, my friends. 20 billion in profits. That is just unbelievable. This article just goes to share, basically how they did that. Let's move into the tweets. There's some pretty awesome tweets here that I pulled out for you today. So I hope you enjoy me combing through thousands and thousands of tweets every day about MicroStrategy and only bringing you like the top 5, 6, maybe 7 tweets, just so you can just press the play button here and just get the best of the best. So I hope you appreciate that. Current MicroStrategy thesis. Saylor learned off the high likelihood of upcoming U.S. strategic reserve before most, understood its significance, and has been stacking hard using the ATM while prices are still low. The blackout period from mid-January, when they cannot use the ATM due to the upcoming earnings, may lead to repricing of stock and higher MNAV baseline. Not financial advice. Do your own research, as he says. So listen, this is from Bitcoin Power Law, the microstrategist.com. And I'll just say this. We're going to be getting more into this as I get into a few more tweets here. Saylor's hitting the ATM so hard, in my opinion, and other people's opinion as well, because he knows what's coming. He knows there's a potential of the U.S. strategic reserve. He knows that's going to kick off nation state adoption, unbelievable FOMO, pensions, hedge funds. My friends, game theory has been activated, and Saylor knows he has to buy as much Bitcoin as fast as possible to acquire as many Bitcoin at these prices as possible. That's why he's a coiled spring. We're going to talk more about this later in the episode. But right now, MicroStrategy is coiling like a spring, just ready for it to absolutely explode. And a lot of people are just begging for him to stop hitting the ATM machine because they want to see their stock price go up. I get it. I understand. But listen, the point of our investment, in my opinion, is not for the stock price to go up today and tomorrow, but it's to explode in the upcoming years. And that's what Michael Saylor is doing for us. He's always said that his shareholders are his top priority. You know how proud Michael Saylor is of the fact that MicroStrategy stock is the best performing stock of the past 4 years. You know he's so proud that his bonds are the best performing bonds ever, literally of all time. They're outperforming Bitcoin if you watch that Q3 earnings report. So just believe me, Michael Saylor is doing this for us, for the shareholders. I believe it. I hope you believe it. let's get on to some more tweets because they're going to help you with that, I think. Michael Saylor on MicroStrategy debt. It's very misunderstood. People think it's debt. It's not. It's convertible debt. It's unsecured, no recourse. Bitcoin could go from 100 to 100K to 1K. The debts are not getting called. Bitcoin could go to $1. Bitcoin could go to 1 penny. There's no call feature. Michael Saylor is getting tired of all these bears, but he's, having to patiently explain it over and over again. And you're going to see in an upcoming clip that I share with you that he might get a little overly intense, and that's not a bad thing. So let's go to the next tweet here. From Bitcoin Archive, fair value accounting for Bitcoin starts from today. A new era, Bitcoin as a corporate treasury asset. And this is Michael Saylor tweeted. FASB has officially adopted fair value accounting for Bitcoin for fiscal years beginning after December 15th, 2024. This upgrade to accounting standards will facilitate the adoption of Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset by corporations worldwide. This is fantastic news. This is one of Saylor's 3 catalysts that he said had to happen for Bitcoin to just explode. The first 2 already happened. This is the third. It's happening. Game over, my friends. Michael Saylor's fired up. I'm fired up. I hope you're fired up. Riot Platforms. This is just a quick tweet showing what Riot Platforms is doing, acquiring Bitcoin. The same exact thing with Semler. This is Eric Semler from Semler Scientific. That's one smart guy right there. He's doing some great things acquiring Bitcoin. And guess what? They're all outperforming. And it's just the MicroStrategy standard. That's what they're going to follow because the Bitcoin standard, the MicroStrategy standard, it is the standard. And man, it's just beginning. It is just beginning. I wanted to share this tweet from Punter Jeff. He said, hasn't even been 50 days since Saylor announced the $42 billion capital plan for MicroStrategy, 21 billion ATM and 21 billion bonds. Yet armchair experts are suggesting they know how to better manage a 47 billion stack of Bitcoin held in a corporation. LOL. Laugh out loud. Probably the same people that yell at offensive coordinators play selection watching Sunday football. Exactly, Jeff. Let's talk about Chris. I love this guy. He's doing some great things. The 7 stages of becoming a MicroStrategy shareholder, meme edition. 1, it's a Ponzi. 2, it's a bad idea. 3, it's interesting. 4, oh, this is good. 5, MicroStrategy is a great idea. Have you heard about this? Number 6, MicroStrategy is an extraordinary idea. And then this is where I'm at, number 7. And I hope you're getting close, if not already there. I don't have enough MicroStrategy because, my friends, I don't believe we can have enough MicroStrategy. Oh, so exciting. So exciting. Okay, let's talk about this tweet from Dan Hillary. He wrote, I personally bought MicroStrategy at the NAV multiple I did because I believed in the Bitcoin accretion per shares was very valuable and forward-looking PE multiple should be applied to this metric. The reason the NAV is not higher is because people right now don't believe that a 70% plus Bitcoin yield is very valuable. Either Bitcoin is rat poison or this sort of buying cannot continue. We'll see about that. The MNAV is a form of valuation metric, not something that we should just pump so we get rich. I believe it is mispriced, and I still think so. Therefore, I hold on to my shares as long-dated calls and shorter-dated calls and call spreads. Just my thinking. I wish we could will MNAV higher. We could all get rich in due time. Hands off keyboard. My friends, this is going back to what I was sharing earlier. Things are happening. Michael Saylor, he knows the playbook. His brilliant engineers that he has working for him, they know the playbook. They know that acquiring Bitcoin right now and increasing the shareholders' Bitcoin yield, our Bitcoin value per share, that is the metric. That's what's going to absolutely allow when fair value comes in 2025 to see the earnings that are coming in to make the stock absolutely take people by shock and awe. Not you, because you're watching this. Not me, because I'm producing this. But it's going to cause people to be shocked. And it's going to be the only thing you're going to be hearing about on all the financial stations for months and months and months until people get sick about it. There's been a statement by a lot of people that this will be the most hated rally in a long time, talking about MicroStrategy's upcoming rally, because people are going to be so mad that they missed it, so mad that their little tiny brains can't comprehend what is happening, but your big brain can, my big brain can. Congratulations to us. Man, it's going to be fun. Let's talk about Matt. Guys, Saylor is front-running the U.S. government. Relax, because people are stressing out. They're stressing out because they're not seeing the stock going up and to the right forever. Just because it did that for a couple months, it can't do that forever. It's taking a breather. Michael Saylor's tapping the ATM. He's buying more Bitcoin for us, the shareholders. life is good. He's increasing the lead on everybody else. He's building a better moat around MicroStrategy. He has big plans for you. He has big plans for me, for us shareholders. It's going to be fantastic. Now, I have 3 video clips, 2 short ones, and then a long one. It's a 12-minute one. So if you don't want to watch the whole 12-minute clip, I totally get it. I think it's an awesome clip, so I wanted to leave it there for you. But I did take the best little 30 seconds from that 12-minute clip, because that's where Michael Saylor smacks down the reporter that asks a question. And listen, she's just doing her job. She's just asking a question, but I just love his response because it goes viral and it makes things happen. So let's have Michael Saylor take it away.
The debt
it's very misunderstood. People think it's debt. It's convertible debt. It's unsecured, no recourse.
No recourse.
What that means, Ron, is that Bitcoin could go from $100,000 to $1,000. The debt's not getting called. There is no recourse. Bitcoin can go to $1. You see, Bitcoin can literally go to 1 penny. The debt doesn't have. There's no call feature, and so it's like basically someone loans you billions of dollars, and you agree that in 5 years you will either pay them back in cash or in stock. But you know what happened is if Bitcoin crashed by 75%, the stock would trade down. We would just pay off the debt with stock. So the risk isn't in the debt so much as it's in the equity. But the point, and the people are like, oh, well, that makes the equity more risky. Well, yeah, that's the point. The point is the people buying the equity want the equity to trade down harder than Bitcoin, and they want the equity to trade up harder than Bitcoin, because some of the people that buy the equity are the convertible arbitrageurs and the options traders. The options trade, like there's a lot of people that want to short the equity. Why do they want to short the equity? Because they're hoping that if Bitcoin trades down, they get a 1.5 boost or a 2 boost. That's what makes it a compelling thing. So if you don't want volatility and leverage, don't buy the equity, right? Buy the bond. And if you want something in the middle, buy Bitcoin if you want to hold a commodity, or buy the ETF if you want to hold the security wrapper of the commodity. And everybody's got different risk profiles. So we're just providing people with the kind of risk and reward and volatility that they want.
So what do you say to people who say, well, it's a Ponzi scheme, because every time Bitcoin goes up, you issue more equity and debt to buy more Bitcoin. It just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah, just like developers in Manhattan, every time Manhattan real estate goes up in value, they issue more debt to develop more real estate. That's why your buildings are so tall in New York City. It's been going on for 350 years. I would call it an economy.
There you have it, my friends. Another episode of MicroStrategy Today coming at you live. Thank you so much for all the birthday wishes yesterday. My comment section was absolutely chock full of happy birthdays. This is such a young channel that to already have built such a meaningful community is unbelievable. So thank you. Know that I'm going to continue working hard 7 days a week, Saturdays, Sundays, Christmas Day. I'm recording an episode because I love doing this. I hope you see my joy. I hope you see my love, and I hope you see the value in what I'm putting out there, and I hope you enjoy. So leave me a comment. I engage with every one of them. A like is so appreciated. A subscribe is unbelievably appreciated. Very exciting news too. We have a sponsor of the show officially. It is NordVPN. I've been using a VPN for a couple of years now, specifically NordVPN, because I want to protect my family. I want to keep what's on the internet anonymous. I want to keep my identity anonymous when I'm on the internet surfing. So I use a VPN for that reason. If you're not using a VPN, it is literally like $3 per month. And it is unbelievable protection for you going forward, especially when MicroStrategy does what we know it's going to do. You're going to want to have protection like this from identity theft, from financial theft, from things that are coming. I'm not going to overstep it, but listen, we need a VPN, my friends. So right in the show notes page, there's a link to NordVPN. They're having a big Christmas sale right now. You're going to get a discount by using the link that I have. I'm going to get an affiliate commission as a result of that, which is awesome. It's supporting the channel. So thank you for doing that. If you decide to check out NordVPN, remember, this is not financial advice. Please consult a financial advisor before making any financial decisions. And as Michael Saylor says it best, remember and never forget, there is no second best.